How would you children like to suck on my chocolate salty balls?
Oh, you mean like a chocolate candy?
No, I mean my balls.
What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to another edition of Smashed Balls, right here on the SMB South Park Review feed. I, of course, am your host in the heat, and I can't be beat. You guys, however the air's dry, your boy, MSG. And just like last week, on this edition of Smash Balls, we go back and re-review and relive some of our favorite moments from our reviews of South Park. And this week, it's Dane's choices. And since Dane joined us well within the last 5 months, he's been on part of every episode that has included video. So we included video for you as well this week. So go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button if you're watching it right here on YouTube. And of course, if you're downloading the podcast, we appreciate you as well. We'll be back next week with a brand new SMB South Park review of Season 12, as well as SMB 179 will be uploaded on our YouTube from our previous review as well. So enjoy this edition of Smash Balls, Dane Becker's Choices.
Yes! Yeah! Ladies and gentlemen,
Hello.
welcome back to SMB,
Suck my balls.
a South Park review.
Go ahead.
And we're back. And we got more crap for you. That's the name of the episode. That's what we got for you today. More crap. More South Park crap as we deliver to you more South Park reviews. Joe, tell us about this episode.
More Crap is the 9th episode of Season 11 and the 162nd overall episode of South Park. It first aired October 10th, 2007. Stan's dad, Randy, becomes South Park's hero when the guys down at the local bar see the size of his craps.
You want to see it? We'll get there, but you want to see it?
So basically, he goes to have this crap, and he's about to flush it down the toilet. And like any man has at least one point in his life after going through battle with it, like, no, I gotta see what kind of evil I just expelled from my body. And he looks at it and he's like, no, you know what? I'm not gonna flush this. This needs to be documented and seen by the town over.
Gotta show it to the boys.
Hey, Sharon. Well, first he has to show it to Sharon because he realizes happy wife, happy life.
Right, of course.
You
So
know,
let's show
he
that.
calls Sharon over. Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's show that scene here as Randy takes a quick dump. And as we I guess I didn't write this down here, but throughout the episode, there's going to be a flashing graphic that says Emmy award-winning series. And that's because they had previously won a Emmy for the World of Warcraft episode, right, in Season 10. So they got it in Season 11. And this whole episode is kind of, I think, a big fuck you to them. And they do it in the form of the biggest crap in the universe, which we'll get to. But the reason why I bring it up right away is if you watch this on the YouTube and you see it flash up, you're going to see a graphic at the bottom that says an Emmy award-winning series with the Emmy next to it throughout this whole episode. So let's take a look as Randy's on the dump, on the John, taking a dump.
We've all been here. Don't judge him.
Oh, God.
Listen.
There's the Emmy award-winning series.
Oh, here it comes.
Here comes the Emmy.
People, as you can hear from the street if you're walking by.
Nice shot outside. He's sweating. He's sweating.
He's
it's
sweating
over.
profusely.
It's over.
It's over.
Oh, God.
I haven't had like that one in a long time.
And that's a small wipe for crap like that. But you know what? That's big
that
crap.
really is.
Yeah, that's a
Although-
quick one.
Wow.
Wow.
That is huge. That has got to be the biggest crap I've ever taken.
Hey, Sharon.
Hey, Sharon.
Oh, here we go.
Sharon, you got to come see this.
Absolutely.
Sharon,
We've all been
What
here
is it,
too.
Randy? Do you have any? Oh, Randy!
will you look at that? Is that the biggest crap you've ever seen or what?
Flush the toilet for Christ's sake!
Come on, that's pretty impressive. Hey, Stan.
Look what your old man made.
Look at this.
Randy!
Look what your old man made.
No way.
Huh? Never seen one of that,
I
have
love
you?
how Stan
No, never.
immediately
Gross,
gets
man.
it.
He gets it.
All right, will you flush the toilet now?
I like this part.
I'll try, but I
Hold
don't.
on, call your Uncle Jimbo. I'll stand
wait,
guard.
wait a minute. I gotta call Jimbo first.
Why?
I need a
Well,
witness.
He's
we
gotta
gotta
see
call
this.
Jimbo first.
No, we are flushing the toilet right now.
No! Jimbo has to see it, so when I tell all the guys how big it was, they'll know I'm not lying.
Oh, for the love of
It
God,
makes
Randy.
sense.
It does.
Sharon,
Doesn't
this is-
It does.
Stan, go call your Uncle Jimbo. I'm gonna stand guard.
And he gets into like a football stance.
Yeah, he gets into
literally
a
gets into the
lineman
position.
stance.
He does.
Like, I mean, that's a fair. It's fair though. I mean, I think as us as guys, if we ever saw or if we ever had a huge crap that came out our ass like that, we might respond the same way. I mean, and we'll show you how big the crap is here, as Joe's going to talk about more. But yeah, I think if I took a crap as large as that and got up and looked at it, I probably would be like, "Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit!"
Yeah,
there?
The first shit joke of the night.
How many
Yes.
can we get in? If we were like the show, we'd have a counter.
162.
Right? Exactly.
The bar's been set at 161.
We need to go
So-
one more above.
They find out that the previous title holder definitely not happy that Randy has taken the world's biggest shit. And Randy is about to be awarded for taking the world's biggest shit.
The biggest crap.
Hey Sharon, is that the president? Hey Sharon.
Sharon. And so for
Bono?
making the world's biggest crap, and
Bono.
the ceremony is interrupted by a rather famous individual, none other than U2 frontman.
Edge.
Yeah. You think you know me? You think you know me?
I mean, I'm only saying the
On this
truth.
day, I
Ah,
see clearly.
Wait, is that?
Yeah.
That did
No, that's a different Edge, you
I know.
guys.
I just said Edge myself.
I know you guys know. But I mean, like, my favorite YouTube video is the one where Edge is singing and he's got like the foot stepping on his face like Tony Atlas.
It's Bono.
Bono.
But yes, so we're talking about Bono before we get a bunch of angry emails. Edge, the Edge is not the lead singer.
He should be. We all know the real talent here. Wait, is everyone shouting out Ringo Starr when they think out the Beatles? Please, Bono, step to the side.
So Bono interrupts the ceremony to let everyone know that he has very conveniently
I swear on
taken
my
the-
life. I swear on my life.
I can swear to its authenticity. And he's like literally
Yeah,
posing
picture
next
thing.
to it like,
And then he holds it and shit. Like literally, he holds
Yeah.
the shit
yeah.
like it's on a
I can
platter.
right. I can swear to its authenticity.
Yeah. So yeah,
Right, and the video opens and closes with the
With-
yeah.
All right, let's show that.
Because it's Bono.
Hello.
All right.
Well, it's
I don't
Bono.
want to. Since I didn't write it down here, I should gloss over. Or you? I know you had mentioned the international, the Zerk people actually come, right? Because they check it out. That's
Yes,
how we get there.
they do come and check it out and everything. I did kind of gloss over it.
It wasn't a big deal though, because they just basically asked. They're like, "What was your diet?" And he was like, "PF Chang,
PF Chang's.
mostly Jimmy Jack's sausage egg muffins."
Yeah, and they're like checking to make
Exactly,
sure it's
whatever.
not.
That it's not fake, right? That's all one solid
Yeah.
piece. All right, so here's that White House ceremony now.
Hey, look, Sharon, it's the president. Hey, Sharon.
Hey, Sharon.
To present the award, I give you the
He's
Dean of the
mortified.
EFSM, Sir Orloff Brolo.
I just like how all the American males are proud.
Yeah, we got the record! Thank you, Senator.
We're,
For over
Americans
100 years now,
just
the
wanna be
European
number
fecal
one at
standards
everything.
and measures- Hey, Brolo. Hey, Brolo.
Oh, here comes Bono, giving him the messages what he's trying to
Straight
tell.
off?
like,
Ladies and gentlemen, I
when we
understand
found out
we
a
have just
Japanese
received
guy could
special
eat more hot
videotaped
dogs than us,
announcement from Bono.
we constructed our own.
Cool. Could we,
And
play
we
the
made
tape on the
Joey
big screen,
Chestnut.
please? Hello, everyone. I am Bono.
Bono.
And Bono.
For years, it has been my honor to try and bring focus to the needs in Africa. And today, I have very exciting news.
Very exciting
Last
news.
night, at 8:20, I took a crap weighing 9.5
Keurig.
kilograms.
Top Keurig.
Bono?
As you can see, it is one solid piece. It is my
Right
biggest
next
crap
to his
date,
Grammy.
and I swear to its
pillow.
authenticity. Thank you.
He's
and God
praying
bless.
on it.
Praying over it.
All right, enough, Bono. That is not how you submit a record. That's ridiculous. Ridiculous. What is he trying to do? Billy Mitchell? Oh, yeah, just submit a tape. We don't take tapes here.
Before you jump in, before you go further, Joe, about talking about what happens at the bar, I do want to show this quick scene of Randy and Stan because it always has one of my favorite scenes between the two where Randy's discussing, I made this. It was something that was made by me, and now it feels like my life's meaningless. Thanks, Dad. You're welcome, son. So I like
and like he goes into like that really he does it a few times throughout the series where he's just like channeling Sylvester Stallone.
You're right. He does channel Stallone here.
I almost made something of myself. You know, when you get real close, you start to think that maybe your life is gonna matter. I mean, this was something I made. Something that came from me. That was a part of me. The only thing I ever made that was any good.
Gee, thanks, Dad.
Gee, thanks a lot, Dad.
You're welcome.
Welcome.
And I know that this late in my life,
Trey's dad must have been hella stupid, dude.
Now, I don't want to play all of it because it is a long scene, but eventually Sharon comes out and she says, hey, Randy, it's time for dinner. And Randy goes, you hear that, Stan? Sharon, your mom says it's time for dinner. What are you trying to say, Sharon?
I can see through your sarcasm, Sharon.
Sarcasm, Sharon. So, yeah, let's go ahead here and we'll show...
Well, let's show it all in Stan's big discovery.
Let's show Stan here talking to Bono about pleading with him. Hey, can't you just be number 2 this time and let my dad be number 1?
Fuck off.
I can't be number
I want people to
2.
know that I'm worth something, that I matter.
All I'm asking is that maybe with this one thing, let my dad be number 1. And you can still be number 2.
What did you say?
Number 2?
Number 2?
Number 2!
Number 2!
Nobody
This
calls me
explains
that
it
anymore
well.
and gets away with it! Take it
Take it
back! Take it back!
I take it back.
Say I'm not number 2!
You're not number 2.
That's right, I'm not!
Attacks him. He attacks him.
What a fucking douche.
Does the
God, Lord.
afterwards. Let's go here to that final scene here of him explaining about Bono and Biddy, and then, of course, Randy's final crap.
Bitty
Broloff,
bitty bom bom.
what do you know of this?
It's true, I'm afraid.
It's true, I'm
You
afraid.
see, until Mr. Marsh came along, I was the record holder for the biggest crap.
Why you started
I
this whole
took
thing.
it back in 1960. It was the most amazing crap I'd ever taken. Papa, no! Say nothing more.
Papa, no.
Come to me, my darling, precious child.
Oh, God, I hate it. And I also kind of love it. Oh, God.
After I had broken the record, I took the crap home.
No.
I'm going to mute it a little bit here. I'm going to fast forward just a second here to the Biddy.
Oh,
Biddy.
God.
He likes the
Why,
Biddy, doesn't he?
Matt? No.
Dude.
I
Dude.
kept the crap
Dude.
in my office, nursed it, fed it Biddy.
Oh, you can
And
hear
soon
it.
Biddy
Fed
made him
it Biddy.
strong. Biddy made him grow up
Oh.
into one of the most influential figures of our time.
That hurts
You see,
the
Bono,
Biddy.
that hurts the Biddy.
That hurts the Biddy.
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 Ah.
All right, and then finally here's what happens after Randy takes the world's biggest crap. After he basically says, look how big it is.
It's still the record. Oh God, here it comes. Oh, hot, 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 hot. Hot, 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 hot.
Oh.
My God, it must be over 100 Courics.
Dad, are you all right?
Yeah,
No, I'm good.
I'm good.
Feel a lot better. Mr. Marsh, We apologize,
Yeah.
and if it's okay with you,
So they grab the
we would like
Emmy
to present you
off the screen,
your
if you
long
will, here.
overdue trophy.
Breaks the fourth wall, grabs it from the screen, and places it in the shit. This episode is titled D-Yikes. It is SMB, Suck My Balls, episode number 162, and it is South Park 159. Welcome back. Are you guys ready to rock and roll and review some South Park?
Yeah. This episode's fine. You know, I'm ready to review it. I love South Park. I have no problem with South Park, but this episode in particular, I don't want to down the whole mood before we start, Matt. But goodness gracious, I just don't like this episode. Honestly, we'll get into why later on, but just gotta say that right up front.
All right. Well, it is the 6th episode of season 5. I'm sorry, season 11, season 5. And the 100
feels like it's in season 5
episode of South Park. It aired on April the 11th, 2007. Mr. Garrison gets dumped again is how this synopsis starts for this episode, ladies and gentlemen. And she takes her frustration, out on the 4th grade class. However, things start looking up for when she meets a new friend at the gym and they go out for a drink at a local girl bar. And of course, she doesn't understand what's going on at first.
God dang, man.
So let's get into this here. Miss Garrison enters her classroom to start this episode off. She's in anger. She's pissed. I actually have this on my board here. I want to say, do I still have it here?
She is angry.
I do. It's still on the board because it's one of my favorite clips.
Everyone, sit down and shut the fuck up!
God damn it, stupid ass man! Like I have that on the board.
That's my ringtone. Hello.
Well, she comes in pissed. She's venting about those built-up frustrations from previous bad blind dates, and specifically the night before.
Mm-hmm.
Now, out of spite, though, she assigns the class to read The Old Man and the Sea. And you have to write an essay about it over the weekend. Do that Monday. Like, that's fucked up.
This is such a good joke. It's terrible in so many ways, but such a good joke. Where they go with this?
That's South Park.
I'm gonna write my essay. Let's get into our first clip here. This clip revolves around, as I mentioned, Garrison in the classroom.
Oh, this isn't good.
Did I say something to you, sugar tits?
No, ma'am.
You boys make me sick. You're well on your way to being men who only think with their penises. I'm assigning all of you weekend homework. You are going to read Hemingway's book, The Old Man and the Sea.
Have you lost your mind? Dude, we can't read an entire book in one weekend.
Oh, that's too bad, dude. Maybe if you boys could keep your penises in your pants once in a while, you'd get more done.
But teacher, my penis never slips out of my pants, except sometimes when I'm wearing pajamas.
If you do not have an essay written on Monday, then you will fail. Is that clear?
He's honest. I mean, who's not? Sometimes those pajamas are a little iffy, and people are like, "Man, I wear my pajamas just with underwear," and I'm like, "Why? Who wears pajamas with underwear? They're not like pants."
To you a lot, Dane? Do you find yourself frequently not able to get a lot of work done because you're thinking too much with your penis?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Joe?
I mean, obviously, I'm a digital marketer.
Joe, do you think with your penis?
All the time.
Oh.
Joe's thinking with his penis right now.
Wow.
I did, yeah, took the words right out of my cock.
Yeah. All right, Matt. What did we learn today? See, I told you we're not going to talk about this episode. I won't let it happen.
I think I killed him.
You took the word out of my cock.
Matt's dead. All you can see is his man bun like a millennial Jaws.
Meanwhile, Miss Garrison goes to the gym, this all-female gym called Curves. I actually remember my mom working out at this gym when I was a kid as well. And she's trying to release some built-up anger. She curses out men on the treadmill. A woman named Allison gets onto the treadmill beside her, and the two strike up a conversation, sharing a common dislike of men. Allison then invites Garrison down to the all-female bar titled what is it? Le Beau.
It's Le Beau, yeah.
Le Beau. It does not take, otherwise known as Lesbos. It does not take Miss Garrison long to realize, though, that Le Beau is a lesbian bar and runs off to the bathroom, horrified. Allison, though, of course, follows her talks to her, making Miss Garrison wonder about her sexuality. They end up kissing and having sex all night long.
And that was the episode. Thanks, Matt.
So let's go to the scene in the bathroom here with Mrs. Garrison realizing her sexuality, because it's a funny scene. Whether or not Dane likes this episode or not.
I love it.
I know me and Joe really enjoy I love it. I know me and Joe.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I really enjoy this scene. Okay.
It's great.
Oh, goodness, no! Of course I haven't! I mean, really, I don't even understand how two women can make love. I mean, unless they just kind of scissor or something.
There are a lot of ways to make love, Janet.
I guess I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little titty-lated.
Maybe kiss
I forgot!
Oh, this is wrong.
Who saw that one coming?
Doesn't make sense.
Is it wrong, Janet? Let your inhibitions go. Let's just have fun tonight. No commitments.
They're playing Melissa Etheridge.
I know, I have to turn it down a little bit just because I don't want to get
Ooh, they're holding hands.
Copyright. So
looking into each other's eyes.
Just as they're about to kiss.
That's enough.
Yeah, scissor. Yeah, scissor me, Allison.
Janet, you're crazy.
Oh, this is hot scissoring. Oh,
You guys at home
scissor
just
me timbers.
theater of the mind. Because you can figure out. If you can figure out what was going on, we don't need to explain on that one.
Well, let's jump into this clip, and this is what happens when Miss Garrison kicks the dude in the balls, and they do the whole slow.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Hello, my name is Amir Hadi. My boss sent me over here because he heard that you were upset about us trying to take over the bar.
Yes, we are.
Well, we want to assure you that when this place becomes another Club Purge, you will all still be 100% welcome. All they want is to make the place really nice. We're going to put down some lovely blue carpet and gold curtain rods.
You knew it.
I knew it.
But you are still welcome to come. My boss wants you to know that you will not be discriminated against in any way.
Would you allow straight people in? Men?
Well, we would allow whoever.
Choose your next words wisely, Persian.
Look, we don't have to
The
offer
whole
you anything,
mood changes.
so I don't know why you're being so difficult. This is crazy.
No.
Here it is.
This isn't crazy. This is Lesbos!
Right in the nuts.
How dare you!
The slow motion walk away.
And
Kicking the
just sashaying.
Mrs. Garrison is slow-mo sashaying away.
All over the country, lesbians heard.
The Persian started to vomit. Kicked him right in the balls. This is how we do it at Lesbos. Mrs. Garrison is holding her court.
Right. All right. So here comes the first fight between the Persians and the lesbians.
They have rolls of blue carpet.
There's so many of them.
Lesbos! Positions!
It's obviously a 300.
they begin the first modem of the Haka.
We're coming in.
Exactly. That's what I thought too.
The hell you are! You can take your blue carpet and gold curtain rods and shove it up your Persian buttholes! All right, come on! They can't stop all of us!
And here they come.
Just slow motion.
Remember this
Hands
day.
deep.
Remember this fight.
Get ready.
Remember this fight. We don't need to show the whole fight.
Holding back the people.
As a narrator is going to explain, the battle raged on for hours. Until
Because in 300, why would you actually show cool shit when you could describe it and then show slow-mo sex?
the Persians grew tired and retreated while the lesbians celebrated their victory.
Yeah.
After a day has passed, Mrs. Garrison realizes that her crew is tired, so she decides to keep them energetic. So she makes them some coffee, and they do a slow motion version of her making the coffee, which in turn allows the Mexicans to then come back with some valuable information on Xerxes. So let's go to the coffee scene, because the coffee scene is pretty funny. It's just kind of, and as a coffee drinker, I don't know. I just like watching slow motion of it. It's almost like ASMR, but for coffee.
Ready to alert the others. The Lesbo leader sat nervously inside.
The South Park movie.
Her plan to dress Mexicans as Persians to act as spies. Perhaps it had failed. She looked around at her fellow Lesbos. They were tired. In order to keep her Lesbos awake, she had no choice. She would have to make coffee.
Motion. Coffee cup. Fast motion. Slow motion. Water. Fast motion. Slow. Water. Coffee maker. Fast motion. Slow. Ground. What's this the butt?
With fresh
It
coffee
is
brewed, the
brewed.
Lesbos found new life. But would it be enough?
Yeah.
Did you finish your book report? Yeah, I feel pretty good about it. I finished my whole book report, and I got a really nice letter from my essay who works down at the U-Haul.
We love you, Jimmy.
Dane, what did you like about this episode?
I like that this episode comes before all of the really good episodes from this season. I mean, in all honesty, I got to admit, Trey does have these transitional episodes where it's just like, we got to get an episode out. Let's just use the throwaway idea. I think he's gone on record and said, like Human Centipede is a really quick one, but also, the one with Christopher Reeves was just an idea they didn't want to do for a long time. And then, he was an asshole on TV, so they finally did it. But it's just one of those episodes where it just feels like it was an idea and they fleshed it out. But when they fleshed it out, it doesn't feel like enough. It doesn't have enough going for it. It's very transitional, which is, every episode of South Park, I think, is good. I don't think I've ever seen a bad episode of South Park, and I've seen all of them a lot. But this one, it's just one of those transitional ones. One of those ones, it was an idea, it was an episode for the week, and then it moves on to some of the best content that this series has ever produced. I mean, after this, they go right into like stuff like Imagination Land. Like, you can't beat Imagination Land. That thing was better than most animated movies. So I think it's just it was it was one of those things.
Totally, and this is like definitely a bottom third episode. I'll go with you on that. Like, yeah. I enjoy the episode, but it's not like a banger by any means. I'm sorry to cut you off, Matt.
No cutting off here. This is a podcast. I would put it in my bottom 20 though, for a real joke.
Yeah, it's definitely in my bottom third. I don't know if I'd go bottom 20, but it's definitely what the more you say it, I can definitely see where this is one of those that like they didn't put a whole bunch of effort into it. They were working on other things. They probably had a bunch of ideas coming up for Imagination Land and everything else they had down the pipeline.
Yeah, and they were still deciding if they were going to do that as a movie. They decided it was just going to be 3 episodes. I mean, there's a lot going on during this period. So like it's just one of those episodes. It's funny. It's got good jokes. It's written by Trey, so it's still got that snappiness to it. The Mexican stuff, I think, is probably the best stuff out of this episode, but the rest of it is just like it's a 300 parody. And when she starts making coffee at slow-mo, I'm just kind of I have the feeling that I have with 300. I'm like, all right, time for the next one. Move it along now.
I'm not going to just rush into a relationship with Allison. I'm a late in life lesbian, so I need to play the field for a while, right?
Same.
I'm so happy.
That's great. Let's hear it for teacher being a lesbian. Yeah.
That's kind of the energy that you should always come to your gay friends with, by the way. Let's hear it. Yeah.
Hey, you enjoying the reviews you're listening to right now? That's awesome. Do us a favor, head on over to Linktr.ee/SouthParkPod and check out some of our social media sites and landing pages. We're also available on YouTube, on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, as well as all social media outlets. And you can download us on all of your favorite podcast outlets. SMB, a South Park Review. Now back to Smash Balls.
This is SMB, a South Park Review podcast. I am your host for the afternoon, evening, morning, whenever the hell you might be listening to this podcast, JV Vernola. We're going to dive right into it. This is episode 155 of the series, which means it's 158 of the podcast. Season 11, Episode 2, Cartman Sucks. When the ultimate plan to embarrass Buttman backfires, Cartman struggles to keep everyone from seeing a compromising photograph of the two. Meanwhile, Butters is sent to a conversion camp where they try to pray the gay away. Basically, we start the episode with the boys all at Cartman's house, where Cartman is showing Stan, Kyle, and Kenny his photographic prowess, if you will, of some of the pranks he has performed on Butters during their sleepovers. Cartman then reveals that Butters is coming over that night, and that is when Cartman will pull the best prank ever on him.
Is a coup de grace.
Yes. It's pretty interesting that he's got all the boys there with him, right? And he's all like, oh, the guys, he's like showing them like in this artistic manner, artistic fashion, all these high different lighting, intensity filters and whatnot, different. Go ahead.
Yeah, and it's like actually good like he's doing good photography and like he's showing like really good techniques and stuff. But you're right, it's just like it's such like terrible pranks and stuff.
Cartman's always been great at photography, from here all the way up to Imagination Land, where he's got to take some very choice photos of his balls in Kyle's mouth. Cartman has like more than just the basics. He's got more than just the essentials. This guy like took a master class.
Hot Fudge Monday. I really like how the light plays with the background on this one. Is this all you brought us over here to see? Oh no, there's much more. Let's see. Oh yes, look at this one.
So that night, Cartman again sets up a sleepover with Butters, puts a blindfold on Butters, and eventually tricks Butters into putting Cartman's penis in his mouth.
Can I interject here? It wasn't like at night. He immediately ran over there. I thought like right.
Oh shit! You're right. You're totally right. He runs right over there. Hey, Butters, why don't you do this?
I got you past me, Butters.
yeah.
And basically, as he's doing this, Steven Stotch walks in, sees Butters about to put.
Yeah, he finds it very familiar to him.
As he's been in many a bathhouse.
Yeah,
he knows what's going on.
Steven should not have gone the way he did in this episode.
No, he really shouldn't have. It's self-loathing. He's projecting. And
did Steven pray the gay away? Is that what happened?
He murdered his kid almost. His wife did.
Well, no, his wife did.
Yeah,
right.
Semi-crucifixion, and then he was cured.
But you can go back to Bennigan's review. Let's all go. Bennigan's. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
That sounds like it's almost like hysterical blindness. Like your wife almost kills your kid. You like hysterically go straight.
Yeah, exactly. She was driven to kill her own child, and he was driven to put all the white swallows out of his mouth.
God damn it.
Speaking of white swallows, Joe, get us back. See?
Yes. So that's a great segue. So basically, Steven maybe trying to deflect blame, not that it's something to be blamed on, but with his panic and everything, trying to deflect it away. Oh no. He's just bi-curious. He's bi-curious. We need to send him to camp. And basically they send him to Camp New Grace, which is what is now known today as a conversion camp, or a pray away the gay camp, at the suggestion of Father Maxey, which taking advice from a Catholic priest on anything in regards to homosexuality, I just do not recommend.
Yeah, look,
as a Catholic,
yes.
So yes. As a lapsed Catholic, like
anything yicky in your mouth. Okay. All right, you ready? All right, just okay. Open it. Good.
Perfect.
Okay, here it comes.
Here it comes.
Sit really still. Okay, here we go.
Butters!
Whoa! Hey, Dad!
Butters, what are
Cartman
you
gets
doing?
out.
I'm getting a surprise!
Oh my God! My only son reduced to this!
Takes a. Hey, where'd Eric go? Eric ran right the hell out of there, and he never mentions it again. It was like, was that Cartman?
All right, so yes, I wanted to show that quick clip here. So now here's Butters in the church here. I just like this scene though, because like my son's confused. Is it true? Are you confused, son? He's like, yeah, I'm pretty confused.
Yeah, I'm pretty
confused right now.
Learned that my son is bi-curious. Is that true, son? Are you feeling confused?
Yeah, I'm pretty confused, all right.
See, young man, these confused feelings that you're having are simply the devil's way of trying to get a hold of you.
It's the goddamn devil. All right, so now we jumping over here to as you mentioned here before we jump back to the Cartman stuff. I know you'll get there, but let's go over here to when Cartman Butters arrives at the camp.
Everyone, say hello to our new camper, Butters.
Hello, Butters.
Thank you so much for taking him in. Don't worry. Your son just needs to learn that he can be straight if he chooses to be.
Spray the gateway.
Do you know why you're here at Camp Butters?
Because I'm bi-curious?
That's right.
That's right.
Like all the campers here, you're confused. And you don't think there's a way out. But even though some people would have you believe you can't control how you feel, the truth is that with the power of Jesus Christ, you can
He's not
be
even
normal.
acting.
Now, just to make sure you don't slip up while in camp, we assign every camper an accountability buddy. Let's meet Ryan, your accountability buddy. Ryan thought he could never change, but now he's learning that with the power of Christ and prayer, he can have a whole new life.
And it's a dead kid. Jump into a clip here as far as where we're at in the episode. So you had mentioned Cartman, of course, he is going to have this conversation with Kyle and find out that the gay polarity thing is not actually accurate.
I checked on the internet, Kyle, and getting Butters to put my wiener in his mouth wouldn't make me not gay like you said.
You figured that out, huh?
That's right. And I also learned from the internet that just because I put Butters' wiener in my mouth doesn't mean I'm gay. All I have to do is throw away the picture, forget it ever happened, and nobody will ever know.
Yeah,
except for us.
Right, except for you.
Everybody we tell.
And all the people we tell.
Why would you tell anybody?
Because it's really, really funny.
It's not that funny. There's lots of things that are way funnier.
Like what?
This is actually some fun stuff he does mention.
A tampon in the school cafeteria, in somebody's lunch.
Nope.
Now this sounds like a Dane Cook comedy special.
Like
this one's good.
A dog crap on a guy's face.
That isn't funny.
Yes, it is! Now, you guys, I'm getting pissed off. You better not tell anybody.
Well, maybe we will, maybe we won't.
Fine, whatever. You guys don't have any proof I put Butters' wiener in my mouth. It will be your word against mine. And we all know that everyone trusts me way more than you guys.
That's not true.
Not at all.
No, not in the slightest.
That is
Heck, they didn't even need a photographic proof. They would just tell people, and they would automatically assume it's believable because, of course, Cartman. Of course.
Yeah, Clyde Donovan would be like, I could totally see Eric Cartman putting Butters' penis in his mouth.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my penis is actually quite bigger.
Let's show, as you mentioned, what happens when he gets in trouble to start here for the magazine.
I thought you were about to do a sponsor break. Before we get to the suicide, Blue Apron.
Only through Christ can we cleanse our souls.
And you do know the rule, which states that no impure or immoral images are allowed to be seen by the eye?
Yes, sure.
So let's purify ourselves from everything that makes the body or soul unclean, Corinthians chapter 7.
Then do you mind telling us why we found this 1979 Sears men's underwear catalog in your room?
That mustache.
That's mine.
You know this is strictly forbidden.
I don't understand. What's wrong with underwear?
What's wrong? This is what makes you confused. Don't you get it? This is confusing you right now, isn't it?
Yes, it's all very confusing.
Yeah, especially why is it from 1978? I mean, honestly, that you would definitely expect that to be lying around an old church camp center.
It's a very specific year, though. You know what I mean? It kind of makes you want to find out, Dane, what was going on in that 1979 Sears men's catalog.
I'm going to buy a copy of it like it was the Maltese Falcon, and I'm going to see what Trey was really up to.
All right, now as Joe alluded to, Butters and Bradley now, while writing their pennant as far as for, you know, having the 1979 Sears catalog, Butters is going to tell Bradley, still not understanding where he's at, the innocence. I like you too, Bradley. You're great.
I like you a lot.
I try to do everything the counselors say, but somehow I still feel confused.
Yeah, well, hopefully when we finish writing all these verses, we won't be bi-curious no more, and then we can go home.
You're really terrific, Butters. I mean, I think you're great. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Bad thoughts. Bad thoughts.
What's the matter?
I think I think I like you.
Well, I like you too, Bradley.
You do?
Yeah.
You like me?
Sure, I like you a lot.
Oh, God, we're both unfixable. Don't you see we're lost causes? We're just evil and nothing can change us. There's no other way out, Butters. We have to kill ourselves.
No, Bradley, you can't leave. You're my accountability buddy.
And as we know, Butters takes his fucking accountability
buddy.
If they had to hold hands, Butters would be jumping off that bridge with him.
Well, we have
Teacher, my buddy is here.
This is the stemming of it from right here. Like,
oh yeah,
eventually it's going to lead to him not letting go of Cartman's hand.
Did not pray the gay away.
Last time he didn't hold his buddy's hand, and his buddy almost committed suicide.
Never again, said Butters.
Never again.
Never again.
It's too late.
Bradley, please! You're my accountability buddy! How will this make me look?
You get back. You're only gonna make things worse.
I'm not normal. I'll never be normal.
You're perfectly normal, Bradley!
Get back. You're just as confused as he is.
All right, that does it. I am sick and tired of everyone telling me I'm confused. I wasn't confused until other people started telling me I was.
That's fair.
Same.
You know what I think? I think maybe you're the ones who are confused.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be confused anymore just because you say I should be. My name is Butters. I'm 8 years old, I'm blood type O, and I'm bi-curious.
Blood type. He's got the blood type.
And even that's okay. Because if I'm bi-curious, and I'm somehow made from God, then I figure God must be a little bi-curious himself.
Well, no shit.
I think I'd like to come down now.
There you go. I think I'd like to calm down now.
Butters saves lives just as much
does.
as ruins them. They literally are Batman and Joker. They're made for each other. They almost near love each other in a weird, sick way. But
they
at the end of the
need
day,
each other.
They need each other. They have to coexist with one another. You think it'd be Kyle and Cartman? No. It's Cartman and Butters. Matt?
Before you jump into the conclusion here, Joe, I was going to say, to wrap up that scene as well, there is a conversation between Mr. Stotch and Mr. Butters, and Mr. Stotch tells Butters, "You're never going to change." He's like, "No, I'm bi-curious." And he's like, "Me too." And then they both start laughing. And then Butters goes, "Wait, now I am really confused."
Yes. Stephen the entire time is projecting, as most fathers do in this situation, and most religious people in this exact same situation do. But at the end of the day, once confronted with the truth and seeing someone comfortable and accepting of it, you end up doing the same thing too. See, getting bi-curious boys all together ends up being a net good. It doesn't actually. Don't listen to that. That was meant to be offensive. It's horrible. It's horrible out there.
Dane, what did you like or dislike about this episode?
Oh, what did I like? Well, to say what I liked is to dive into a personal place, because this episode kind of changed my life formatively on about around its release, probably my second or third resurgence of watching South Park. Because like any fan, you take a few years break here and there, then you come back to it, you watch all 3,000 of them again, and you just continue from there. As an adult now, I'm on a pretty steady diet of it. But back in the day, I rediscovered this, and it was kind of formative to me. I'm not here to say that I know everything, right? I don't think anybody does. And I think people that say that they do or that they know anything for sure, except that apples fall from trees on your head, are kind of idiots.
I just want to interject. I just want to make sure that we do point out that Joe does know everything about South Park, though, because he is the 2022 trivia champion. But go ahead.
Joe is literally like Isaac Newton of South Park. He's the originator of all of its knowledge, as well as the curator.
But he is the current active champion, and if you wish to challenge him, you can do so live on pay-per-view. We'll set it up. Go ahead, Dane.
Live on pay-per-view as well. Okay. Anyway, I was about to just say the words gay sex, but that would have kind of like negated everything that I'm about to say very emotionally here. But I'm not going to say that I know everything. I know that I don't. People that do are idiots. People that do are the biggest douches in the universe, because you don't know anything and you can't communicate with that side of things anyway. But what I know for sure is that I'm I've been dating men about 14, 15 years now. And I've dated women. I've gotten into long relationships with both sides of the fence. And I can tell you pretty distinctly that I know that you cannot control what you love. That goes down from family because I didn't have a father. My father was extremely homophobic as well and called me tons of terrible, terrible things. So you don't control who you love in family. You don't control who you love in friends. And by extension, you don't control who you love romantically, fully, lifelongly, if you will. But I know that for a fact. I may not be a completely atheist in terms of the godlyhood. I did go to multiple Christian schools, but that has also fed into my knowledge that you cannot control who you love. You can't do it. And for this episode, for me, I used to carry this episode around on my PSP. I used to carry this around when I had an iPod. I would watch this episode religiously almost every week on SouthParkStudios.com. Not for anything other than, it's not even Butters that gave me hope. It was Bradley. Because when you're in a dark place like that and you were like me and you lived in the South for as long as I did, and you went to all these private Christian schools where they didn't teach actual science. And I'm not saying evolution. I'm saying that you'd go into science class and you'd be taught that the homosexual spreads the AIDS. And I'm not even joking about shit like this. This still happens. I graduated when I was 17. That's only been like 13 years. And they were still teaching this. This stuff happens and you feel a lot of self-hatred. And this episode kind of made me negate a little bit of that feeling. And then eventually over time, you guys become adults. And, I know a lot of rich people say that it gets better, but for anybody struggling with this stuff, it's just like gender. It's just like sex. You don't get to really choose that you love your own body just as much as you don't get to choose who you love romantically. Some people look at themselves in the mirror and they say, see a woman when there's not one. And that's very valid. That's extremely valid. This is all science. People look gay. People don't like the look of themselves. It's not personal preference anymore, guys. This is actually happening. And people are getting taught this way. And people are getting told they need to convert. And people are being told that they hate themselves by people that have always hated themselves. I've just never been able to admit it. And Bradley gave me hope. Especially when I needed it, Bradley gave me hope. So I would say that what I like about this episode is that it gives a clear vision on what can get better about being homosexual. What can get better about being trans. What can get better about being gay. Anywhere. It can actually show that things can get better without having someone like Tim Gunn explain it to you with his $1 million suit on. You know what I mean? This isn't a rich person. I mean, they're billionaires now, but it didn't feel like you were being talked down to. It felt like someone was actually seeing you. And for someone who is decidedly cishet, as these creators are, I can't comment on their totality of their sexuality, but they're cis heteros. For them to be able to deliver a powerful message like this to the homosexual community when not even homosexuals can do that, it just goes to show you that it is not a spectrum gap. It is a gap in knowledge and self-awareness. Because these guys are the most self-aware and knowledgeable people on earth. They're multi-billionaires, and they still come out with socially and politically relevant commentary. They have not lost sight of themselves. And I think this is just a big example of that, is that you can grow up even in like the dirty backwoods of Colorado and still find out that, you don't get to choose everything in life. Gender, sex, those things are on a bit of a spectrum. And this kind of episode sort of gives you hope that other people believe in that too. Because if Bradley can get down off that bridge, by God, Dane Becker at 12, 13 years old could. So that's what I would say that I like about it. What I dislike about it is fucking nothing. This episode is amazing. There's nothing wrong with this episode. You could say that they have a Stanley Cup moment where you go in and you see a kid hanging from the ceiling. But guess what, man? That was happening. I've seen it happen. My friends did that. Right. And I'm not trying to make this so damp and dour, but there's nothing bad about this. All these things happen. This shit occurs. It still occurs today. I see it left and right. And honestly, it's getting worse. And I'm not going to make a political commentary either, but it is. So this episode and the people that believe in the message of it make it a little bit better.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for another edition of Smashed Balls. We hope you enjoyed Dane's picks on this smashed up version of SMB. If you think we should make more content like this, or we can potentially go back and even review some of our favorite characters, or even just a full-on list of our top moments from each season, drop your comment and let us know. Coming up next week, it's SMB number 180. It's Pandemic Part 1. What happens when the boys start their own Peruvian flute band? We'll find out then on another edition of SMB, a South Park Review. See you guys then. It's gonna be pretty sweet.